Tonight I'm going to be making pesto pasta. It is something that is really quick and really easy, and that is something that I definitely need tonight. I don't know what kind of a day you had, but I have had a crazy day. Did the school pickup, then had to go bathing suit shopping with my 14-year-old daughter, so that's, that was fun. Went and got groceries. It is now 5:10. And my son has a game night tonight. So he's got friends coming over in about an hour, and I've got to get something on the table for dinner. Tonight's one of those nights that it's so tempting to just go pick something up or have something delivered. But with all the money that I just spent today, I just really couldn't justify it. So this is the perfect dish for nights like this. Have I poured myself a glass of wine? You betcha. The part that's going to take the longest here is getting the pasta water boiling. And actually, I'm a little frazzled. I actually already started the water boiling, but I realized I didn't have my microphone on. So my water is already boiling. I'm just going to do one of these things. All right, so I've got a big pot of water on the stovetop. I've put a lot of salt in there. You want your water to be salty like the ocean, so don't hold back on the salt, heavily salt it. And now there's only two things that we really have to cut or chop for this recipe, and they are sun-dried tomatoes and chicken. And since I only want to use one cutting board tonight, save myself dishes later, I'm going to do the sun-dried tomatoes first, and then I will follow up with the chicken. Okay, I have a jar of sun-dried tomatoes here. Just gonna open that up. And sun-dried tomatoes have a pretty strong flavor. So I'm not gonna use all of these, and I'm just using a fork to kind of separate them from the oil because they are packed in oil. And I'm gonna do probably like half of this jar. And you can see that they're already julienned, which means that they're cut into these little strips. But I do want to cut them up just a little bit more fine. Okay, so that's about half of the jar there. I'm just going to come through with my knife and just roughly chop them. Like so. And then I will put those in a bowl. Next up, I have 4 boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You could certainly use chicken breast as well if you like breast better. Or you could completely leave this dish without any protein if you want to. If I was going to do this as a side dish, I would maybe leave the meat out. But this is kind of our one dish dinner tonight. So I definitely wanted to add some protein. And I'm just going to cut these into bite-sized pieces. Not only because it's easier to eat, but it's so much easier to cook too. When you've got small pieces like this, it cooks up pretty fast. And obviously tonight, on a night like tonight, fast is good. We are looking for a fast dinner tonight. And I try to cut off some of the fattier pieces. All right, guys, we're rocking and rolling. I don't usually like to cook this way. I like cooking to be nice and like relaxing. The kitchen is my zen place. I enjoy the quiet. I enjoy the calm. Frenzied cooking up against a timeline is not my favorite, but we will get it done. Okay, so chicken is done. Back at the stovetop, I've got a large sauté pan, and I'm going to turn this up to about medium high. I've got some olive oil. I'm going to put in some olive oil, enough to kind of coat the bottom. And I'm also going to add in a little bit of this sun-dried tomato oil as well, just to kind of add a little bit of that flavor into our chicken as well. We want to get that hot before we put our chicken in there. Just kind of give it a swirl to coat the bottom of the pan. And the oil will help keep the chicken from sticking to the pan. And while this oil's heating up, I'm going to go grab some spices. I'm going to get some salt, some pepper, some garlic, powdered garlic, and maybe some crushed red pepper. You guys get me running all over my kitchen tonight. One of those days. All right, so I see a little bit of shine in that oil. It's starting to get a little bit glossy, so I'm going to come in with my chicken. Go ahead and put that in there. Wash my hands. Give that a stir. All right, and then I'm going to season it. I'm going to put some salt, probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to do some black pepper, probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to do some granulated garlic, probably 1/2 of a teaspoon. I like garlic, so if you're not a garlic fan, you can either omit it or not put as much as me. And then because I like just a little bit of spice in this, I'm also going to put in a little little crushed red pepper. And you can adjust that to however spicy you like it. If you don't like spice, you can leave that out. If you really like a lot of spice, you can increase that. I usually like to just do a little bit. And then at the end, when I'm tasting, we can always add more later if it doesn't have quite as much kick as we want. But we just want the chicken to fully cook. And we know that it's done when all of the pink is gone and we start to see some browned bits on the chicken. And I'm not editing this video, so I'm just going to leave the camera going and you'll be able to see exactly how long it takes for this chicken to cook, because this part will be in real time. And every once in a while, just give it a toss. Spread them out a little bit. And looking over there at our water, it is starting to steam a little bit, but we're still pretty far from a boil. So as you can see, the pasta is really what takes the longest in this dish. We will be done with our chicken and our sauce long before the pasta is done. So it's a good thing we got that going first. I'm also usually a lot better about making sure that my chicken pieces are somewhat the same size. That helps for even cooking. They all get done at the same time. Obviously in a hurry tonight. Didn't do the best job, but that is okay. That's one of the nice things about using chicken thighs. They tend to be so much more forgiving than chicken breast. Chicken breast doesn't have as much fat in it. And so if you overcook chicken breast, it gets dry very fast. I feel like the thigh is a lot more forgiving in that regard. Right, this chicken is looking pretty good. I don't see any more pink, but they still feel kind of squishy, which means that they're probably not cooked all the way through just yet, but I would imagine probably just a few more minutes and they're going to be good to go. And while this is finishing up, I think I'm going to go open my box of penne. Got a 16-ounce box of penne pasta here. Just going to go ahead and get that open. so that when my water boils, it's ready to pop in. Okay, my chicken is looking done. I'm going to turn down the heat a little bit to medium-low. And then I'm going to add in some Boursin cheese. This is, I think it's a goat cheese, actually. Is Boursin a goat cheese? I don't know. I don't know. I will have to research that, but I think it's a goat cheese, but it's also got like garlic and herbs in there. And so I'm just gonna open up the little foil package. And then it's got a little foil piece on top. I'm just gonna drop that in. And start to break that up. Stir that in with our chicken. Adds so much flavor. If you've never had Boursin, I didn't have it until just recently. One of my friends made a appetizer with it, and I was just sold. Now I want to put it in just about everything. Huge fan. Okay, and then once you get that kind of creamy, I've got my pesto. And I'm gonna, let's see, this is 6.5 ounces. And I'm gonna go ahead and put in the whole jar. That's the good stuff. I definitely want to get every ounce of this too. Let me give that a stir. Like I said, I've got the heat turned down to medium-low. I do want to keep this warm, but we're not really cooking it anymore. Just keeping it warm. I'm going to go in with my sun-dried tomatoes. We chopped up. Looks very good. And then I'm going to add a little bit of heavy whipping cream. This is optional. I mean, this is a pretty good sauce right here, but I like to add a little bit just to make it extra creamy and also to stretch the sauce a little bit further. Since I'm making 16 ounces of penne pasta, I've got quite a bit of pasta going. I'm just going to estimate here, I'm going to say probably about 1/4 cup. And stir that in. All right, and then while we're waiting for our pasta water to boil, And for our pasta to cook, this can just kind of be sitting here. All of these flavors can start to what we call marry. They start to kind of meld and combine and open up. So I might kick it up to not medium, but just a little bit higher. Maybe get a little bit of a simmer going on it. And let's go check the water. The water is looking like it's wanting to boil any second now. It's getting close. Over here in my drawer, getting a slotted spoon for the pasta. I will use this to stir the pasta once I put it in, but also I want it to be slotted because instead of straining the pasta when it's done, I'm going to use this to scoop it out of the pot and put it in the sauce. And then that way it gets a little bit of the pasta water into the sauce, and that just helps make it even creamier and even better. Okay, so we're almost there. We want to get a really good boil on it. Check out your container or your pasta box to see how long it's supposed to take. Let's see. 10 to 12 minutes. My family doesn't really like pasta to be too al dente, so when I make pasta for the family, it generally trends toward the longer of the time estimate. They like their noodles a little bit softer. Okay, let's get these babies in here. Let's get those going. That's the last step, guys. Okay, we're going to give it a stir. Leave it on high because we want that boiling good. And I'm going to go set my timer to 12 minutes. Okay, we are doing it. Pasta's got 12 minutes that it needs to boil. That's going to put me right about 6 o'clock for dinner on the table. Half an hour to eat and get the kitchen cleaned up before my son's friends start to come over. It's going to be close, but I think we got this. So I'm just going to turn off the camera for these next 12 minutes. I'm going to use these 12 minutes. I'm going to occasionally stir the pasta. I'm going to occasionally stir my sauce. But for the most part, I'm going to try to get this kitchen picked up a little bit. And I'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Okay, so my timer went off and I have fished out one of these penne noodles here. And before I turn off the boiling water, I just want to check the texture. And it is hot. It is very hot. And that's a preference thing. If you like it a little firmer, if you like it a little softer, like I said, I let mine go for 12 minutes because my kids like it a little bit softer, and that turned out to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the burner and we will add it to our sauce. Okay, I've turned off both of my burners and I'm going to use pot holders to move this pot over. Those handles get pretty hot. So I've got my pasta real close to my sauce here. Now, if you do not have a slotted spoon for this process, you can strain your pasta, but before you do that, make sure that you save a little bit of this pasta water just in case you need it to help thin out the sauce. Because once you get rid of that water, you can't get it back. It's like liquid gold. So I'm just gonna start to put my noodles in. When I do it this way, I'm already getting a little bit of that pasta water in there. Guess my arm's in the way. I didn't really think this camera angle through, did I? Okay, and I'm going to start tossing this. Get that pasta nice and coated. Oh, I'm losing noodles. It's okay, no time to worry. Might have needed a bigger pan. Or I could have added the sauce. I could have strained it and added the sauce to the big pot and then just added back pasta water if I needed to. But hey, I'm committed. This is what we're committed to. Okay, just make sure that that gets all nice and saucy. And then here is a good time to check for your seasonings. Is it salty enough? Does it need anything? Got my little taster fork here. And honestly, that is so good. Everything's perfect. The salt is perfect. Really, really good. Okay. So now I'm going to move this over to the countertop. I've got a trivet to protect my countertop. I'm going to bring this big bad boy over here. And I've got some Parmesan cheese. I'm just going to go over the top with it like that. And measure with your heart. At first it kind of melts, you can't see it. I like to get enough on there that it looks all pretty on top, like snow. Oh, voila, we did it, guys. All right, you guys, we did it. Pesto pasta, super quick, delicious. It's got some protein in there. We got it done. I love the pesto. The pesto is so good. And then also that sun-dried tomato just adds a whole other dimension of flavor. I love garlic, so there's lots of garlic going on in here too, which I love. The main thing is that I did not order out. I did not get delivery. We did it. And I hope that this wasn't like stressful to you, even though it was kind of stressful to me, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully it showed you that you have options. And this is a delicious meal that I put together really, really quickly. Even though I didn't want to cook, it was easy. Like I said, the longest part was getting that pasta done. Getting the water to boil was really the longest part. And you need meals like that in your repertoire. So I hope that this video was helpful. I hope that you really enjoy this recipe. It's one of my family's favorites. And I hope that you would comment and let me know what you think. Subscribe to my channel, but honestly, the best way that you can help my channel is to share it. So if you know somebody that would like a recipe like this or wants to learn how to cook and take things step by step in a slower way, please share my channel with them and share my videos with them, because that's really the audience that I'm targeting. Cooking shows these days, they go so fast and you miss a lot. And so I want the kitchen to be relaxed, more relaxed than it was tonight, please. and for people to enjoy cooking. I want to share my love of cooking. I love that I can put amazing, wonderful, tasty food on the table for my family, and I want to share that with other people. So I hope that you all enjoy your evening. I hope that my evening starts to slow down a little bit now, and I will catch you next time.